So this is February 4th, 2026, and it's been a long time. I think the last video was in November, but all of these pieces are now all epoxied into place, and not had a lot of time to work on it, but worked on it a bit here and there. That bulkhead is now glued into place there. I'm working on starting to fit the side panels. So just get that up there and marked it out on the back side so I know where to cut it to fit it. And then I'll be epoxy coating these and putting fiberglass on them and that sort of thing. The one for the port side is over there on the workbench. This forward section of plywood's all epoxied down. Basically just used clamps around the outside edge here and then screwed it where I couldn't clamp it. Put some screws in every 6 inches or so into the cross members underneath to glue it down to those. These pieces here, I've added reinforcing pieces underneath these plywood pieces. They're basically 2 inches high, and underneath they go down 2 inches, basically just longitudinal pieces of plywood epoxied on, just with some fiberglass, just like this is, just to give it a little extra rigidity. There's support and stuff underneath there, but as I was walking around on it, I was like, yeah, a little bit more. So I did that. So that part's coming along pretty good. I should be able to make some more progress this week and next week because the weather's finally warmed up. That was one of the problems. It got so cold. It was useless trying to work out here. Yeah. So, and then this is the other thing I wanted to mention was the propulsion system. So I'm going with these rim drive steerable pod motors. So there'll be 2 of these, one in this section here. So this is the halfway point between the bow and the stern. So there'll be one here on this side, one over there on that side. And there's lots of good things about these. They're steerable, so you can point the boat basically in any direction. Don't need any bow thrusters because I can just basically, pull up to a dock and then move the boat sideways over using these. The other cool thing is there lots of cool things about these actually, but the having it forward like this, basically 15 feet from the stern, this will allow me to basically back the boat right up to the beach, drop a little gangplank thing off the transom, and people can just basically walk off the boat onto the beach. These will also hold position, so you can essentially push put it in park, and these will automatically, using the GPS, keep the boat in whatever position you've told it to be in, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure I'll use that a lot, but it's a very cool thing. And they're very efficient. Because of the design, because there's no central shaft in here. Basically, the motor is in this outside rim. This is the steerable part up there in the top. That steers the motor. Basically this part here is up against the bottom of the hull. This part extends up inside the boat, and because there's no central shaft, it makes it very, very hard for stuff to get stuck on these blades. So they've got videos where they show ropes and things basically just getting sucked in. Sometimes they just go right through, and if they do get stuck on the little blade tips or whatever, just put it in reverse and they just float right back off. So that's a really cool kind of feature too. So these are not great for high speed, but this is not a high speed boat. That's not what I'm going for. I'm going for efficiency. So I'm getting 2 11 kilowatt motors like this, and expect to have about 300 miles of range with the 60 kilowatt hours of solid state marine batteries that are going in these sections. So there's 6 of them. There's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're down in the keel space there, so keeping the center of gravity low. If you haven't seen the videos of this boat before, I think I'll just show you quickly from up here. So the camera's distorting it even more, but basically very, very narrow center keel section to the hull. It's just basically like a multi-hull hull would be, and it tapers aft, so it's sort of a teardrop shape, and then the sides of the boat here provide the stability, and based on the weight that I'll have of batteries in there and the weight of everything else, it should be that these pieces here are just kissing the water surface, should be 2 or 3 inches basically of in the water back here. So it should be very, very low drag, very efficient. This having a very narrow bow section like this will make it easy for the bow to get through any bow wave. So I expect to be able, maximum speed should be 12 knots or maybe a bit more, with the two 11 kilowatt motors on there, and but most of the time planning on just cruising along at 6 or 7 knots, just like you would on a sailboat, enjoying the scenery and stuff instead of going like a bat out of hell, because I think that's a lot more fun. So anyway, hope you like that, and that was informative.